Ladies and gentlemen, can I call you to attention, please? Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the yellow Manchester stand this morning. What we're going to talk to you about now is really one of the best, I think, examples of how we try and do things in Manchester. One of the big debates that have been going on over the last few days in most places, I think, is how well is a city or a place performing in the current economic climate? What are the essential ingredients of effective leadership of a city? What are the sorts of things which a sound, vibrant partnership ought to be bringing forward? We're going to talk you through a particular initiative which I think exemplifies the way we try and do things in Manchester. It's public sector led in the context of how, on the back of the refurbishment of some of the prized civic assets, the town hall, extension and central library, we can create a place which enables the private sector to invest with confidence and deliver a product which we believe will make a significant contribution to the growth and development of the city over the next decade. I'm delighted to be joined by Ian Simpson, who's going to give you an overview of the overall shape of this initiative. Roger Stevenson will talk about the place in Peter Square. And David, of course, one of our long-standing partners, and delighted to welcome David as part of the partnership for the Civic area, is going to talk to you about not only what Argent is going to bring to this party, which as usual will be first class, but also how Argent and the city, working with our different stakeholders, is going to develop a new approach to partnership. So, Ian.
Thank you, Howard. I'd like to just talk briefly in my 4 minutes about two projects, both of which are on the screen at the moment. Manchester Central, which is a redevelopment of the old GMEX tram station at the back of Manchester Central, and the Town Hall extension. Just looking at the Town Hall extension, I mean, the whole phrase Town Hall extension is an anathema. In fact, it's 336,000 square feet. It's quite a big place. And when you say, oh, I'm refurbishing the Town Hall extension, people think it's something quite different at the back of the Town Hall. Obviously built by Harris in 1938. Originally, it had some really spectacular public spaces, the former Rates Hall and the gas and electricity showrooms. We want to reinstate those public spaces for Manchester and for the visitors and citizens of Manchester. We want to open up the Rates Hall as a new public thoroughfare and connect the old gas and electricity showrooms with cafes, a new city library, and an exhibition space where we can tell the citizens and visitors of Manchester what's going on in the city. At the moment, you can see it's an absolutely mess of partitions that are built up over the years. We want to clear those out and make a very simple space which has a beautiful customer service centre embedded at the heart of it. We also want to try and utilise the courtyard space as a garden, and these show the quality of the original spaces that exist in the building and what they're like now. We want to open those up as to be something quite special, reinstate the historic fabric, but bring new life and vitality into the space. We want to open up the basement, so that it's not a basement, it's a lower ground floor. We want to make light wells connecting, physical connections between the ground and upper level, the garden space. This is the lower ground where we'll have the city library and connections through to Central Library. And we hope as that develops to make Library Walk an important connection as well between Central Library and the Town Hall extension. On the upper levels, we want to go away from this corridor experience and create a proper environment for the employees of Manchester City Council and their visitors to use and to work within, fit for the 21st century. whilst obviously respecting the quality of the existing building fabric. I'm able to keep an eye on both of these projects from my place here. This is the one Roger's going to talk about in a moment. But here we've got the Town Hall extension sitting comfortably. Manchester Central is a fantastic opportunity that came about really from something that we started to look at a pedestrian connections through to Castlefield. This can generate over £1 billion worth of investment into Manchester. It's going to create a new place that's as large as Albert Square in a space that's currently just a series of redundant arches and a service yard to Manchester Central. You can see how important it is in terms of connecting Castlefield, Knott Mill, future First Street, the corridor, the Bridgewater Hall. It's a forgotten place, effectively. Nobody's really thought about this as an opportunity. It's the gateway from the south. You can see how close it is to the new Civic quarter here that's been developed around the Town Hall and St. Peter's Square. We want to create a new way of arrival into Manchester Central. People who have experienced it now getting off at Oxford Road Station, it's a disgrace really coming across that broken bridge and following the signage that leads you through there. It's just astonishing. We want to create something that will be a new interchange. We heard yesterday about the increase in tram and Metrolink traffic. This will be the new interchange that will bring in Media City. It will link through to the airport. This is where it's all going to happen. There'll be a new bridge link to Oxford Road Station, the hard rail. This is the Southern Gateway in the way that Piccadilly has been transformed by the work that Argent and the city have done. Then this is an opportunity here at the south called Manchester Central. Just imagine arriving in on the tram now, coming into a new place next to the Hilton Tower with views across to Castlefield, linking down vertically onto Deansgate, the new bridge link coming through into the Oxford Road Station. Instead of a series of bus shelters, we're actually coming into a proper interchange here. This will also connect directly through onto Watson Street and link in the redevelopment opportunity that exists at the Great Northern. We arrive up into this new public space that, as I say, is larger than Albert Square. We're able to walk seamlessly at an elevated level, a pedestrian route overlooking Bridgewater Hall with views of the city in the distance. We'll be able to connect to Manchester Central here. This is a 200-metre linear link that leads you directly to the doorstep of Manchester Central and through to St. Peter's Square and beyond. At the moment, it's 600 metres. You have to cross 6 roads. You have to go up and down. Again, it's not the sort of gateway that we want to see existing within the city. The opportunity that exists, obviously, for connection here and the fantastic work that's going on with Manchester Central, making this a real place. Now we'll be able to arrive there, make the connections. You'll be able to walk this route through and simply transfer then to the airport, to Media City, and to the south. We can see the opportunity that starts to exist here. David Russell's building sits comfortably as part of this context, but we have an opportunity to create 5,000 new jobs. And as I say, over 800,000 square foot of commercial, of hotel space around a new public plaza. This space here, facing south, that will link with the future redevelopment of Whitworth Street here, bringing in the arches on Whitworth Street and the canal. New development opportunities here, locking in the Hilton Tower. The removal of that horrible tunnel that exists along Great Bridgewater Street. We want to make a new public place here, a new street, a new square that will link directly to Watson Street. These new buildings probably could be a lot larger than that. Obviously, we've been quite conservative in terms of the scale of these buildings, but it's a fantastic transport hub. It's where we can actually start to put density, new jobs, and new investment. And I think it will be a fantastic gateway to Manchester. Thank you.